Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Western Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. Thank you so much for joining us. We are really excited you're here. Before we get started, we do have a few housekeeping items to note. The first thing is, if you have any questions at all, feel free to share those through the Q&A button. The presenters are there and ready to answer any questions that you have, and you are welcome to type in your questions to the presenters at any time through the Q&A button. Your camera and microphone are off. You are muted and your video is off. The panelists can't see or hear you. There are more sessions going on this evening, so if you are interested, feel free to sign up for more sessions for the next time slot. And lastly, this recording will be available a week from today. You can access this recording at a later time at strivescan.com/WACAC. We are currently in session A14, right where my mouse is circling. And so this will be the order of our presenters for tonight. So without further ado, I'll get out of the way and introduce our first presenter from Lancaster University.
Hello, everyone. It's lovely to be here this evening. I'm just going to share my screen. Hi, so I'm here this evening representing Lancaster University, which is a university located in the northwest of the UK, so in the northwest of England. Sorry, just having an issue moving the slides on. Just going to stop this share and start again. Apologies. Is this working now? Yes, sorry. So we are a campus-based university located in the northwest of England, and we have around 15,000 students. So we're a medium-sized university by UK standards. We're a modern university and we're a research-intensive university. This photograph here shows you our campus, which is kind of a completely self-contained campus just outside the city of Lancaster, which is around 10 minutes away. And as you can see from the photograph there, we're surrounded by 560 acres of parkland. So in a very green environment, lots and lots of space. And that affords us to have a lot of student accommodation on our campus and also all the facilities you need for day-to-day living. So as you would expect from an out-of-town campus, we do have supermarkets, we do have healthcare facilities, hairdressers, post office, ice cream parlor, and everything else that you would expect for day-to-day living on our campus. One of the more unique things about Lancaster University is our college system. So we have 8 undergraduate colleges, and they're not about the academic life at all. They're all about where you're going to be living and your social life. And what those colleges do is break down that larger student community into smaller communities and really serve to be your kind of home on campus. You continue to belong to a college throughout your degree, and even if you don't live on campus, you would belong to a college. And our students really feel that sense of belonging and that extra level of support that they get through the college system. Lancaster's a relatively young university. We were founded in 1964, and in that short time we have been very successful in the rankings. So we're very proud to be ranked top 10 in the 3 UK major league tables, also ranked 136 in the world in the QS World Rankings. And aside from the overall rankings, a lot of our subjects also rank very highly, along with student satisfaction and employability. Another thing I just wanted to mention about Lancaster is that we are a very global university. Not only do we have around 30% of our students on campus being from overseas, from all over the world, and our staff as well, we also have campuses in Ghana, China, Malaysia, and we also have many partnerships across the world for both study abroad and research. So a very globally connected university with an international outlook. Student life is focused very much around kind of the clubs and societies. We are a campus-based university, so there's a very vibrant society and clubs culture on campus. and there are over 200 to choose from. They change every year, as they do at every university, because they are run by students. So depending on what the students want to run, they will be the clubs and societies that are available. There are also volunteering opportunities, and the college system, again, also runs its own events and activities, weekends away and trips out. So a very vibrant student life on our campus itself, and just 10 minutes away from the city of Lancaster, should you wish to go into the city and maybe explore further afield as well. So the city is a small city with a very small population of around 90,000 people, but it does have everything that you would expect a city to have. So lots of different shops, lots of places to eat, and we are also very well connected to the rest of the UK. So around 2.5 hours from London, and 2.5 hours also from Edinburgh and Glasgow. And the nearest big cities to Lancaster would be Manchester and Liverpool, which are just an hour away from our city. It's a very frequent train service between all those locations and Lancaster. And we're also very lucky to be located just outside the Lake District National Park, which is less than half an hour away from our location. And it's a very popular tourist destination and somewhere that our students like to visit during their spare time or weekends and in the holiday seasons as well. In terms of entry requirements at Lancaster, we typically look for a GPA of 3.2, and we would look for AP scores either in certain subjects depending on the course that you were looking for, or just scores of between 555 and 544 for entry to most of our programs. Applications would be made through the UCAS system, which is the system that most UK universities use for application, and you would apply for your 5 programs in the UK. That's my introduction to Lancaster this evening. Thank you for listening.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Really great information. So our next presenter is from the University of East Anglia.
Awesome. Thank you so much. My name is Alana Stewart. I'm the regional manager for the University of East Anglia, and I am based in Michigan, so stateside here with all of you. University of East Anglia, or UEA, how it is known, was founded in 1963. So we are a relatively young university, but since we've been founded, we've done a good job at establishing ourselves as a world top 200 institution and also in the UK top 25. The reason why I mentioned rankings is, again, just to show you that we are a great place to go, even though you may have not heard of UEA previously. We are also a public university. We're campus-based, and we do a lot of research. So our professors within their field are contributing and doing that groundbreaking research in their fields. We have a wide variety of subjects that I'll show you a little bit later, but essentially we have over 160 undergraduate courses, or what you know as majors, to offer. We're on the larger side of universities, but within the smaller side of that grouping of about 17,000 students, of which 17% are international from around the globe. Norwich is where UEA is located, and that's about an hour and a half northeast of London by train. We do have our own international airport, so it's easy to get to, either just flying directly in or also coming up from London itself. That area of the country is beautiful countryside. You are also not too far from the coastline, so you can go hang out on the beach when you want to. And although it's a relatively small city, we do talk about Norwich as being one of the key points to UEA, because people fall in love with it so much. You can see on the left-hand side, we do have our own castle. There's 2 cathedrals. We've been named one of the most affordable cities to live in, as well as one of the best cities to live in. We also have one of the largest number of vegan restaurants per person in the UK. And even if you're not vegan, this just goes to show you kind of the eclectic nature of Norwich itself. If you did watch the movie Jingle Jangle on Netflix this past holiday season, then you would have seen Norwich in the snowball scene, which takes place in our Elm Hill district, which is a historic district of the city. But people are very friendly, and we're known as a pretty quintessentially British location to study. The campus is located about 3 miles from the city center and on 320 acres of greenland. You can see some of our highlights here. We have accommodation for students, which by and large allows you to have your own room and sometimes even your own bathroom. That's guaranteed for first year. We have a student union that has pubs and also hosts 60 or more live music gigs per year. We have one of the largest sports parks in Great Britain, indoors, and we have a rock climbing wall and Olympic-sized swimming pool, as well as you can see all the pitches, fields, and tracks on the right-hand side of campus. We have our own lake too on the left-hand side. Our library is 24/7. And we do have the Sainsbury Center for Visual Arts, which is our own museum. It's also been featured in the Avengers films. So if you have seen the Avengers films like Spider-Man Homecoming or Infinity War, you have actually seen our campus, and that building doubles as the Avengers headquarters. We have brand new buildings, including the one on the first slide, which is our new science building. We also have Productivity East for engineers, both in the community as well as our students studying engineering. And then finally, we are slated to have the Sky House be completed in 2022, which is home for students in arts and humanities, as well as some social sciences. This is a list of all the kind of overarching areas. Again, there are more degree subjects under these kind of larger topics. We are known for environmental science and creative writing, but we also do well with business, economics, and international development. Programs in the UK are standard 3 years, so a lot of our programs have the option to do a year in industry, a year abroad, or a placement year. This does extend the degree program to 4 years. However, you don't pay as much for that kind of sandwich year in the middle. We're also on the UCAS application that was already mentioned, so you'll want to apply via that to all UK schools. Our requirements are 3.3 or higher grade point average, 3 AP or IB exams, or an SAT or ACT exam. Now, if your course does have any subject-specific requirements, we do need that in an IB or an AP examination. We also look for you to have experience in the background experience in the area you want to go into. And some of our courses may require an interview, audition, or a portfolio, although those are pretty few and far between. Our courses start at about $24,000 US and go up from there. And the cost of living is about $13,000. Now that is an estimate. Honestly, you can live more affordably than that, but that's kind of what the government estimates outside of London, which makes us cost comparable to out-of-state institutions and potentially even some in-state institutions, especially I know in California. We have scholarships that are automatic, £4,000 for the first year. And this year, they might change, but if you do apply for essay or by essay, you can get up to £8,000 per year. We also can potentially have scholarships by course, as well as music and sport options. UK schools can receive FAFSA loans if you are eligible, and then also students are able to work on or off campus part-time during their studies with their Tier 4 student visa. Please do make sure to connect with us on any social media. We also have a student ambassador from Fremont, California. Her name's Nicole. She's in her last year and potentially going to stay on for a master's degree. Look at official, but also look at unofficial hashtags that students are talking about, what they're tagging us in. And then if you do need anything else, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. Again, my name is Alana, and I am here to assist you with your journey to the UK. Thank you so much.
Awesome. As we are about halfway, I do want to just send a reminder that if you have any questions at all, to feel free to submit those through the Q&A button. The presenters are there and ready to answer any questions that you may have. Our next presenter is from the University of Birmingham.
Brilliant. Thank you ever so much, Catherine. Yes, so I'm Ruth Foster and I'm the International Officer from the University of Birmingham, and thanks ever so much for joining us this evening. So the University of Birmingham is a Russell Group university. In the recent 2021 the US News and Global Rankings, the university ranked 92nd in the best global university and 10th in the best global university in the UK. We're also constantly ranked in the top global 100, so a really well-ranked university set in a beautiful 276-acre campus about 3 miles outside the city centre of Birmingham. Do have an on-campus train station to make the commuting or kind of journey into the city centre as easy as possible, and that's around 3 miles or 7 minutes by train. And we are constantly ranked, as I mentioned, in the top 100. We're one of the bigger universities in the UK, so probably about 4th largest, with a population of around 36,000. Around 10,000 international students from 150 different countries, and just over 200 US students currently studying with us. We're 7th in the UK Sports League, so that's where universities compete against one another. And recently we've been the most targeted university by top employers, which we're really proud about. The city centre of Birmingham is the 2nd largest city in the UK, so you get a big university experience for nowhere near the cost of London, so it's an affordable cost of living. 48% of our students stay in Birmingham following graduation, so they must have fallen in love with it and enjoyed where they've studied. That star that you can see on the map is where Birmingham's located, so it's around an hour and a half from London and the same from Manchester, and you can reach 90% of the rest of the UK within 4 hours, so you can see we're really centrally located for you to explore the rest of the beautiful UK and what it has to offer. You might be familiar with us from Peaky Blinders, as well as we're home to Cadbury's, as well as loads of other things that's notorious to Birmingham. And in 2022, we're hosting the Commonwealth Games, and on campus we'll be hosting the hockey, the squash, and also the Athletes Village, which we're really excited about. We have 5 main colleges, so the arts and law, engineering and physical sciences, life and environmental sciences, medical and dental sciences, and social sciences. And overall, we have around 500 undergraduate degrees and 324 postgraduate degrees. So we couldn't list all those underneath that by subject area, but there is a wide choice to choose from. Some of the more popular with US students being our Shakespeare Institute, law, medical studies, philosophy, theology, religion, education, and so on. So we do have a beautiful campus to offer our students, and that's really where students fall in love with the University of Birmingham. We've got a clock tower that's very notorious to the University of Birmingham, called Old Joe. In the distance there, those 3 circles, is the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, which a lot of our students have placements or taught in or have very close working research links with. And then just in front of our medical school here is where the train station is, so all very central to campus. You've got the sports facilities and fields on campus, and then just in this right hand bottom corner is the sports centre and the Guild of Students, which has over 300 different societies. You can work for the newspaper, the radio channel. It has subject related societies, ethnicity, country, kind of subject related societies, so much to choose from. And as the others have mentioned, it does change year on year, but we have had some that have been fairly consistent for quite a number of years now. So we're really kind of pleased with the societies that we have to offer for our students. Accommodation wise, we have 3 main areas of accommodation, which I'll show you in a minute, and that's university on campus accommodation. We also have private accommodation and partner accommodation. So partner makes it slightly easier for students because we're partnered with them. We offer catered and self-catered flats, and also have 24-hour security, so it's very safe and secure. You need to have an offer before applying to our accommodation. So those 3 main areas of accommodation on campus is the Vale Village over here, number 1, Pritchard's Park over here, about number 2, that's about a 15-minute walk onto campus, and then Selly Oak, which is about a 10-minute walk onto campus. And Selly Oak is where most students base themselves after they've lived in accommodation for their first year. It's a very student kind of private accommodation area. Application, as we've mentioned, is through UCAS. We ask for a GPA between 2.8 and 3.2 out of 4. We ask for 3 subject tests, either SATs if you've already taken them, between 700 to 650, or APs between 5 and 4, depending on what the subject's asking for, as well as an SAT-R or an ACT. We do accept the IB diploma, and we require 32 points overall and 3 higher levels between 6 and 5, again, depending on what that course is requiring. I hope you've enjoyed listening to the University of Birmingham and finding out a little bit more about us. Please drop me an email, and it's been lovely speaking to you today, and I hope you get in touch. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you. We really appreciate all the information. Our next presenter is from Cardiff University.
Hello, just going to share my slides quickly. Great, so my name's Rachel and I'm an international officer at Cardiff University in Wales in the UK. So Cardiff is quite a traditional UK university. We were established in 1883, but we combine that kind of prestigious heritage with some really amazing modern facilities. So I've got a couple of pictures here just to kind of give you a sense of some of our buildings. We are one of the largest universities in the UK, so we have about 33,000 students, and within that about 8,500 are international from over 130 different countries. We have 3 different colleges that are split into 24 different academic schools, and within that we have over 300 bachelor's degrees to choose from, so there's something for everyone. But popular subjects for US students tend to be things like media and communications, biosciences, psychology, international relations and politics, but we have much, much more. We're also, like Birmingham, a member of the Russell Group. We're the only one in Wales, and we're particularly well known for our research, so we're actually 5th in the UK for research quality. We're also consistently highly ranked within the UK and internationally, and we're currently 159th in the world in the QS World Rankings. So I just wanted to kind of give you a few bits of information that I think might help you give an idea of what it would be like to study at Cardiff. So like the other universities, our degrees are typically 3 years in length because we don't have general education, so you go straight into your chosen subject. Because it's a big university, we've got a really good range of support services available for students, including a dedicated international student support team, a great careers service, and we also are building a brand new Centre for Student Life. So this is due to open towards the end of this year, and it really demonstrates how the university is committed to student support services, as the building is going to be home to all of our different services there as well. We have 16 different libraries, so you can study in a different one every day, and we have a great range of IT suites and 24-hour facilities as well. Our Students' Union is consistently ranked one of the best in the UK, so it's currently 3rd, and we have over 200 different societies to choose from. So this is the place where you'll spend all of your time outside of your studies. So lots of opportunities to play sports, get involved in different groups. We've got pubs and bars and nightclubs there as well, and it's a great music venue too. We also guarantee accommodation for international students for every year of their degree. So all of our rooms are single occupancy and about 70% are en suite. And every student at Cardiff has the opportunity to study a language, regardless of what they're doing for their degree. So we've got a huge range of languages available, including lots of European languages, Mandarin, Arabic, Welsh. If you'd like to learn it, we'd be delighted, but you can do that for free as well. And we've got great graduate prospects. So about 95% of our students are in employment or further studies shortly after graduating. We also do have international scholarships available. They change each year, but they are generally listed on our website, and we accept FAFSA loans too. So if you do want to make your degree a bit longer, you have lots of opportunities to build in things like years in industry or professional placement years, or even integrated masters. So that would mean doing a bachelor's and a master's in 4 years in the same time it would take you to do a bachelor's in the US. In terms of our entry requirements, we currently ask for 3 AP tests, and the scores and subjects will vary depending on what you're applying to study. We also accept the IB, or a year of a bachelor's degree, or completion of an associate's degree. So one of the best things about Cardiff is our location. So we're based right in the heart of Cardiff, which is the capital of Wales. And we're not a campus university, we're a city university, but everything is really close together, and it feels as though the city centre is your campus. It's a really diverse international city. So even though our population is quite small, we have about 350,000 people, we have 94 languages spoken within the city. And we're a really small, friendly place with about 20% of the population being students. So we have 3 universities in the area, so it has a little bit of a college town vibe as well. We're also a really safe place to study, and we're one of the most affordable cities in the UK for students too. So even though it's a capital city, you don't have the cost that you might expect. We're also a really green city. So this picture here on the right-hand side is Butte Park, which is just next to the university. And there's Cardiff Castle, which is just poking out of the trees there, but that's one of over 330 parks and gardens in Cardiff. So there's always somewhere to go and relax and be in nature, even when you're in the city. We're really well connected. So we have an international airport, but we're about 2 hours west of London. And we're really well known for shopping as well. So I've put a picture here of one of our Edwardian and Victorian shopping arcades, which are a great place to explore. They're full of independent shops and cafes and restaurants, and definitely something that a lot of people visit Cardiff specifically to visit. We're also quite often used as a filming location. So you might have seen us in Doctor Who or Sherlock or His Dark Materials. And Wales is particularly well known for its natural beauty. So we're really close to lots of national parks, beautiful beaches, lots of castles and beautiful woodland as well. And then I'm just going to end on a few facts about Wales. So in case you're not familiar with us, we have our own language, which about 20% of the population speaks, although everyone speaks English, so you don't need to be able to. And we have more castles per square mile than any other European country. So if you like history, it's definitely worth a visit. We also have, I would say, hands down, the coolest flag. We have a dragon on our flag, which you might have seen on one of my earlier slides. And as I said, we're particularly well known for natural beauty. So if you do like the outdoors or the beach, then it's definitely somewhere to visit. So that's my overview of Cardiff University. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the chat, or there's my email in case you want to get in touch. Thanks.
Thank you. Our next representative is from Oxford Brookes University.
Hi, everyone. My name is Siobhan Frank. I'm the Global Recruitment Manager here at Oxford Brookes University. Welcome to today. I hope you're enjoying the session today and learning a little bit about the different UK universities here. So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Oxford Brookes University, similar to what the other reps have done today. So Oxford Brookes, we're about a mid-sized university. We have about 18,000 students here. Like most other UK universities, we do have a very international and diverse student body. So we've got about 17% of our student body are made up of international students. And that's one of the really nice things that you're going to see when you come to study here in the UK. A lot more internationally focused the schools are. So you're going to get to meet a lot of really lovely people from different areas of the world. So here I thought it would be a nice opportunity to show you just a few pictures from in and around the city and in and around campus. We have Broad Street up here on our top left, which is kind of in the heart of our downtown. So you can see what Oxford looks like. It's a beautiful, beautiful city to live in. You can also see our High Street. So here, High Street is equivalent to Main Street. Bottom left, you can see our School of Law, and then on our right-hand side, you can see our John Henry Brookes building. This building was just rebuilt in 2014. And up here on the top right, you can actually see our floating lecture theater, which is kind of a statement piece in that space. But it's a really cool space. A lot of times, you walk through, and I once had someone mention to me that it felt very much like startup energy. There was a lot of spaces to work together and cross-collaborate across different teams and subject areas. So why come study here at Oxford Brookes? Well, you get a chance to live in the city of Oxford, which is just a beautiful, beautiful city to live in. It's a world famous city known for its rich history and education. Here on our left-hand side, you can see a lovely picture of some of our students punting along the River Thames. So punting, a bit like a gondola style, you can go along the river, sort of propelling it with that pole in the back. You'll often see in the summer a lot of our students congregating and paddling around the river here and having picnics along the way. Now, as you can see on the right-hand side from this map, on the right-hand side, you'll get the UK with the left. On the lower left is Ireland, that island there. So here we're located about an hour away from London. We have a 24-hour bus line called the Oxford Tube, not to be confused with the Underground in London, but it is a 24-hour bus system that picks students up. Actually, one of the stops is directly outside of our Headington campus and goes directly into the heart of the city. So you can get to Victoria Station or Marble Arch, Hyde Park, for example, really, really easily. We also have a train system, train line that can take you into the city as well. We are located also very close to London Heathrow and Gatwick Airport. So it is going to be very easy for you to get back and forth from the airport. We do also have a bus line called the Airline, which is a direct bus line from Oxford to the airports. So you don't have to worry about not having a car. It's really easy to get around to and from the airport and then within the city. And then if you want to get into London as well. So while you're here, you also get to gain the fundamental skills and global experience necessary to be internationally employable. So we are actually one of the younger universities here in the UK. We were actually formally recognized as a university in 1992. Before that, we do actually have quite a long history. It was a school of art that started all the way back in 1865. But what that means, because we're nice and young, and we've got that before we were former polytechnic that turned into a university, because we've got that polytechnic background, a lot of our courses are really designed to give you the skills necessary to employ or to apply them in an employment setting. So it really is there to help you get employment and to help you move on and kind of progress into your career. As one of the other reps mentioned earlier today, our courses run 3 years in length with the option of, many of them actually have the option of 1-year work placement. So it does give you a chance to get that industry experience. Now, again, we've got 4 different faculties here at the university with over 200 undergraduate programs, again, with that 3 years in length, and many of them with the option of that 4th-year work placement. Here on the left-hand side, you can see, for example, our motorsport engineering facilities. Those are some of the actual cars that our team will work on. Here on our right-hand side, you can see a shot from our sport and exercise science. You can also see we do have the Oxford Brookes University rowing house or boathouse there. Here at Brookes, we actually have a very, very good rowing team. We are internationally recognized for our rowing, beating often, actually many, many times, Oxford, Cambridge, and Harvard all together. So just a few things about our fees and funding, very similar, and our entry requirements. Our entry requirements, again, most of our UK universities are going to be adapted for our US applicants, and we are used to having US applicants come here to Brookes. So we do accept a high school diploma from a 3.0 GPA and above, and either one of your combined SAT score, 3 advanced placement tests, or your ACT averaged from 25. Now, some of our courses might have that subject-specific requirement. For example, engineering might require you to have maths and physics, and that's generally fulfilled with an AP from a 4 and above. So our tuition fees range around that 14,000 to the 17,000 mark, plus that 1,500 or 2,000 for that placement year. We do accept FAFSA, Veterans Loans Affairs Benefits, and Sallie Mae loans, and we offer a £2,000 international scholarship for our US applicants. Now, I won't go through to how to apply because most of the other reps have also done that. But if you have any questions at all, do feel free to reach out. Thank you again very much for having us today, and we hope you enjoy the next panelist.
Great, thank you so much. Feel free, just another reminder to submit your questions through the Q&A button. The representatives are here and ready to answer any questions that you may have about applying or about a specific question about their institution. So again, feel free to submit your questions throughout the presentation. Last but certainly not least, our last presenter is from Middlesex University, London.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. My name is Gabriella. As mentioned, I am the Americas and Caribbean Regional Officer at Middlesex University, London. I am currently based in New York, and I basically help students and families navigate the application process. I was also a student at Middlesex, and I'm a very big advocate of British education, as it is evident in my presentation. So let's move right in. Middlesex is a British university located in Northwest London. So to the top left of your screen. We're about 20 minutes into central London by tube, located in an area called Hendon, which is residential and quite suburban. The best of both worlds, in my opinion, because you are doorsteps from central London where you can spend a good portion of your time, yet in an area where accommodation is more affordable, with a big campus that has green areas and sport facilities. So it has the best of both worlds, in my opinion. I constantly remind students that London has a place for everyone. There's a great wealth of cultural opportunities like museums, with free entrance, by the way, West End theater, libraries, parks. But London is also a vibrant city with impressive nightlife, world-renowned restaurants, architecture, and a perfect combination of present, past, and future. By the way, the bottom left image is a photo of Camden Market, which is just about 15 minutes south of the university by tube. So let's get to know the university a bit. We have 3 academic schools that teach over 100 industry-relevant programs. The faculties are art and creative industries, which teach programs in design, performing arts, visual arts, and media. Then there's the professional and social sciences faculty, which teaches law, business, and health and education programs. And then there's a faculty of science and technology. So that's where students would go for psychology, computer science and engineering, maths, natural sciences, also sport and exercise science programs. And overall, that is over 100 different programs. All of our programs are taught practically with employment in mind and are internationally recognized. They do not include general education modules, which is why higher education in the UK is more specialized and major focused. And many times that answers the question, why is it only 3 years in the UK versus 4 in the US? Now you know why. And for all of those reasons, over 90% of our graduates are employed or pursuing higher education only 6 months after completing their degree. So on the screen, you'll see our typical entry requirements for year 1. So it's basically, most of you might have a GPA of 3.0, and then ACT, SATs, or APs. We are not yet test optional, but we're looking to make our entry requirements more flexible over the course of this year. Do mind that art and design and performing arts programs will additionally require portfolio, an audition, or an interview, and STEM programs will require at least 2 APs in the area of your major. If you fail to meet this criteria, you can be admitted for an integrated foundation year, which is a year 0 that prepares you to successfully start year 1. So I must say that tuition fees in the UK are generally lower than in the US, and many US private and out-of-state options especially, and you might have already caught this from the other presentations of my colleagues here. But do also consider that you're paying for 3 years of education instead of 4+, which is what would normally take in the US. So our scholarships particularly require a separate application form after receiving an offer of place at the course. And of course, we also administer USDE and private US loans, as most of my colleagues here. And education in the UK can actually be very affordable because students can also work while they study. They can work up to 20 hours per week. And then while they study, and then full time after they, during holiday breaks and vacation. Middlesex is a great student support from the moment that you're a student and even before you apply, all the way through the student stage and all 3 years and beyond. We give student support in areas like academics, mental health and well-being, welfare, and a number of other areas. We also have clubs and societies that students can join to make their student experience far greater. Graduates can also benefit from a strong alumni network and lifelong employability service. So just take a peek at some photos of our halls of residence, which are nothing like a dorm. Each bedroom has a private bathroom and a shared living room and kitchen. They include all bills, a weekly cleaner for the common areas, and they have very good links both to the university and also to central London. Please stay in touch with me. You can scan the QR code and fill out that contact form or email me and I'll be happy to guide you forward. Just a last minute highlight, if you know what you want to study and you would like to have practical teaching with an 18:1 teacher to student ratio, affordable fees, and living in one of the most vibrant cities in the world, you should consider applying to Middlesex University, London. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the presentation.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Again, all great information being shared this afternoon. And so really excited to pivot into our Q&A portion of the webinar. We do have some time left, and so we would love to hear from all the presenters. And if at this time, if you can turn on your camera and unmute yourselves for our first question, which is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? Again, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we will start in the order in which you all presented in.
Okay, my main advice, I think, would be, first of all, to look at those differences between the UK and the other college systems that you've been considering, and make sure you understand those differences. And then I would recommend talking to as many current students as you can, going to some virtual events for those, so virtual open days and things like that, and really looking at the differences between the courses.
So my suggestion is twofold. I always, like I said in my presentation, always check out social media that's not official. So check out what people are being hashtagged in, just to see all the other aspects of the university that the university not necessarily would be bragging about. So I hate to say, I'm sure my colleagues hate to hear me say that a tiny bit. And then also, don't be afraid to consider places that your friends are not going also. I went somewhere where I had nobody else from my graduating class go, and it was a great decision for me. But I think that sometimes too, it seems a little daunting, but it's best to go where you're going to fit and where you're going to have the best experience.
I think for me, it would be having a look into kind of like the course content and what it actually includes, especially if you're looking at a course that quite a few universities offer. Hopefully that's where you can kind of really see the difference in how you're taught, how you're assessed, and kind of how that course is structured. That's quite a good point to differentiate between what different universities are offering and what that course includes as a whole to narrow your choice down.
My tip would be, if you're thinking about a university, to reach out to someone from the university like us. There'll be a version of us at most universities, and we're generally really happy to have a chat with you, to organise a Zoom or a phone call. And it's just a really good way to get all your questions answered, find out a bit more about the university, and we can put you in touch with the relevant people depending on what your questions are as well. So I definitely would recommend doing that.
Thanks. I think mine is twofold. So one, fortunately, I think this year has forced everyone to go online a little bit more. So most universities have really bulked up on our virtual offerings, particularly when it comes to those campus tours and those options to see what's in and around campus. So if you do want to get that feel about what the campus is going to be, what it looks like, just go online and have a look. There's probably going to be some type of tour available, if not at open days. And then very similar to what Ruth said, I think, particularly because courses might have slightly different names here than you might see in the US. If you start looking at those modules and the module breakdowns, or what we call modules, they're essentially courses here, you can get a sense of what's going to be covered in that course, and it'll give you a better idea of what kind of course it echoes in the US as well.
Yeah, well, great. I don't even know what to add. I mean, I guess my advice would be, first pick a university where your program is being taught best. First of all, where they have the program that you want to study, and then where it is taught best. And I guess number two would be, remember that that's the environment where you'll be for the next 3 to 4 years, who knows, possibly even more. So also consider the environment that feels like a place where you could call that home. That would be my advice.
All really great advice. I think it's definitely helpful to always hear from those who work directly in the school to get helpful tips or advice to figure out what the best course of action is when you're applying for school. So thank you all. Thank you to our presenters. Again, really great information being shared. And thank you all for joining us today. Before we do close, I want to remind you that there may be a quick survey. There is a quick 4-question survey that will appear on your screen. And if you could fill that out for us, it's really helpful information, and any feedback you share would help us to improve. There are more sessions going on. So if you are interested in learning more about other institutions and their offerings and just more information, feel free to sign up for more. And lastly, this recording will be available a week from today. It will be available at strivescan.com/WACAC. Thank you all, and I hope you have a great afternoon.